Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of aMillionortheMoon. Folks, I gotta make it very clear. The whole point of why you got in cryptocurrency in the first place is because of the promise of financial freedom. There's a reason why you're watching a cryptocurrency video right now and not watching a video about how to trade commodities or what's the newest quarterly earnings report on whatever stock is hot for the moment. It's because that we understand that in cryptocurrency, real financial freedom can be found in the relatively short term. While in the traditional markets like the stock market, you might be lucky to make 10% returns over the course of a year. While in cryptocurrency, we laugh at 10% returns. If we're not talking about 10x returns, then we're not even interested. And so that in that effort, folks, I'm trying to get rich. It'd be very nice if I could also help a lot of other people hopefully achieve financial freedom along the way. That's at least my hope. Again, not financial advice. Nothing I say is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. The obligatory statement that you got to say in case no one gets funny and tries to sue me later down the road. But folks, look, I believe that I have found the next major life-changing investment opportunity. Again, not financial advice, but we've seen in this space how cryptocurrencies such as Ethereum over the long term can see returns of 11 million% returns. Folks, hundreds of X, thousands of X, hell, tens of thousands of X has happened in cryptocurrency, and I think I found the next play to do so. Look, guys, if we look at how the cryptocurrency landscape mostly looks as of today, CoinGecko is famous for not listing cryptocurrencies such as Hex and Celsius correctly. They should be on the front page. They're not here, but CoinGecko has managed to put the majority of cryptocurrencies roughly where they're supposed to be. And if we look at kind of the top 10, top 20 cryptocurrencies, what do we see? We see a lot of Ethereum competitors, layer 1 smart contract blockchain competitors. Like, we have Ethereum, Terra Luna arguably, Solana, Cardano, Avalanche, Polkadot. We have Kronos, we have Crow, we have Polygon, we have Cosmos. What else we got? We got Algorand. We got tons of Ethereum competitors. Hedera, Phantom, tons of Ethereum competitors all in the top 50. Why is that? Because there's a problem with Ethereum. Everyone knows it. It's the slow transactions. It's the high fees. Ethereum can handle up to 15 transactions per second. Folks, there was a period where it was costing $100, $200 to simply send one transaction on Ethereum. Folks, if we're truly going to build a revolutionarily global new economic system and onboard the whole new world, we need more than just 15 transactions per second. Now, Ethereum 2.0 is being rolled out, but it's being rolled out in stages, and according to some murmurings from Vitalik Buterin, the founder of Ethereum, it may take many, many, many years to come. That is why we're seeing all these competitors seeing much success in the space like Solana, Cardano, Avalanche, Polkadot, all competitors to Ethereum. Now, they're not necessarily competitors. They add to what Ethereum does, and they all do things in a different way. They all have different consensus mechanisms. They all have different tokenomics. So they're not necessarily competitors. Many of these projects like to frame themselves as adding to Ethereum, and I also believe that's the case. Folks, I'm not a maximalist of any kind. I think with the amount of demand that this ecosystem is going to have moving forward, that we're going to need a multi-chain future, an interoperable multi-chain future, if we're truly going to onboard the world onto this cryptocurrency blockchain technology landscape. We're going to need several of these different cryptocurrencies. And folks, as we've seen over the last couple of months, a couple of years, Solana, Cardano, Avalanche, Polkadot have performed amazingly. If we look at some of our competitors here, Ethereum did a 2,800x in the last 6 years. Matic did a 1,000x. Solana did 264x. AVEX did a 120x. So we're seeing how Ethereum competitors have performed absolutely amazingly over the last couple months and years here. And folks, I have found the next Ethereum competitor, the next Ethereum killer, the next major Ethereum project out there, and that is PulseChain. Folks, in this video, I mostly want to talk about why PulseChain is the next major Ethereum competitor. It's going to be on the level of Cardano, it's going to be on the level of Solana, in my most humble of opinions, and even supersede those projects, and even challenge Ethereum for its crown over the long term, in my opinion, and I want to explain to you guys why. Not only do we have 3-second average block time, super fast blocks, but also extremely cheap transaction fees. If you tried to use the testnet, For PulseChain, I mean, fees right now per transaction are tenths of a penny, if that. So, guys, it is super cheap and super fast to use the PulseChain network. But look, you might just say, hey, Brandon, aren't there a dozen other Ethereum competitors that are faster and cheaper than Ethereum? Why is PulseChain any different? Why is PulseChain the next major Ethereum competitor? Why is it better than Cardano? Why is it better than Solana? At least in terms of potential price, performance, and where it could be in terms of market cap. These projects are very philosophically different. They approach things in a much different way. So to say if one's better or worse, I mean, how could you really do that when they just have such a different approach when it comes to infrastructure, consensus, philosophy? They're just very different projects doing kind of similar things. But I do think that PulseChain is that next major player in the space because it's doing something and it's solving a problem that every single Ethereum competitor is having a tough time solving. Which, folks, the problem with Solana, the problem with Cardano, the problem with all these Ethereum competitors is that they're having to build an infrastructure from the ground floor, where Ethereum has already existed for over half a decade at this point, and all these guys are having to play catch up in trying to develop and grow an ecosystem where, again, Ethereum's had over half a decade to grow and develop an ecosystem. That's why the vast majority of NFT trading, that's why the vast majority of DeFi, the vast majority of decentralized exchanges are all active on the Ethereum network, because it's had such a long head start in building out infrastructure and onboarding users. That's the problem that all these other competitors are facing. Because yes, Solana, Cardano, Avalanche, Polkadot, they're all faster and cheaper, but they got to do the hard work of building out an infrastructure, and Ethereum has had years of advantage in doing this. That's why Ethereum is still the leader in the space today, and why it's likely to be the leader moving forward, because it has had such a massive head start and has already onboarded so many users, has so much infrastructure, so many developers building on it. But, folks, with that being said, PulseChain has very intelligently chosen to skip this largest problem of building out an infrastructure by forking Ethereum, changing some parameters as to how the consensus network operates so that it's faster and cheaper. It's proof of stake, delegated proof of stake, instead of what Ethereum's current proof of work is. So it's much, much faster, much more energy efficient. And that's how we achieve this higher throughput, is through changing the consensus mechanism and also changing the tokenomics so that's deflationary from the get-go, max supply from the get-go. So it's better tokenomics than Ethereum all around. And guys, it is forking the entire system state, which means it is copying every single NFT, every single dApp, every single token on the Ethereum network, plopping it on this new chain, which will also be airdropping every single Ethereum token holder, all their tokens that they have on Ethereum, onto the PulseChain network. That means, folks, if you have cryptocurrencies on a wallet that you have the private keys to, that's an ERC20 cryptocurrency or an NFT, you're going to get all those copies onto the PulseChain. So what this essentially means, folks, is while we don't know how much Chainlink on PulseChain will cost in comparison to Chainlink on Ethereum, we do know that there's going to be some kind of value on the PulseChain side, because there will be a market, there will be liquidity pairs eventually built out once there's bridges in between PulseChain and Ethereum, which means these airdrop cryptocurrencies on the PulseChain side will have a value one day, which is essentially a massive, massive marketing campaign to every single Ethereum user to, hey, come extract your free value on the PulseChain, and maybe you test out the PulseChain network, where instead of having to pay for $50, $100, $200 transactions on Ethereum, now you'll be able to enjoy transactions for tenths of a penny. Oh, and by the way, you're getting all your cryptocurrencies, all your Chainlink, all your stablecoins that you had on the Ethereum side, now on the PulseChain. This is the biggest marketing campaign in the world. PulseChain will have the easiest time and the least friction onboarding developers and decentralized applications from the Ethereum network onto the PulseChain, because again, PulseChain is just a fork of Ethereum. Cardano, Solana, they're all different programming languages. PulseChain is not. PulseChain is extremely similar to Ethereum. So PulseChain will have the easiest time onboarding Ethereum users. Massive, the world's biggest marketing campaign with this airdrop. And now you also have an easy time for developers and decentralized applications to migrate from Ethereum over to the PulseChain, because it's the same programming language. Folks, we're skipping a massive issue with PulseChain that all other Ethereum competitors face, which is onboarding users and building out an ecosystem, which PulseChain will have a much easier time doing than all these competitors, which I believe will set it up for success in the years to come. Now, while PulseChain is not out yet, it will be out in the next couple months here. We recently had the PulseX sacrifice phase end, so what's next, folks, is basically testnet version 3 for PulseChain, the snapshot, the fork date in which a screenshot will be taken of the entire Ethereum blockchain, where again, if you're holding any cryptocurrency on a wallet you have the private keys to, MetaMask, Ledger, Trezor, you'll get all those coins copied onto the PulseChain. And after that, folks, it's the launch of PulseChain. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see PulseChain come out within the next couple months here, maybe a month or 2 or 3 from now. Nobody knows for sure. It's all speculation. But when this comes out, folks, like and subscribe. Hit that bell icon to notify new uploads, because we will be letting you guys know. We'll be putting out constant updates as more information comes out in terms of the fork, the snapshot date, release date, price action when this thing comes out, the development, onboarding, users, new projects building on the PulseChain. I mean, for example, this Thursday, we will be talking to Power City, which is a very ambitious project building on the PulseChain. I believe they are doing nodes as a service as well as dabbling in the metaverse. We're going to talk to them and learn much more about the project. But point being, folks, there's so much new development on the PulseChain. This is truly the next major Ethereum competitor, the next Cardano, the next Solana. And I'm betting that, come sometime 2025, when we take a look at this, CoinGecko ranking site or some other ranking site, I would be extremely surprised if we don't see PulseChain somewhere up here come that time. So, folks, we'll see. Like and subscribe. Hit that bell icon to be notified of new uploads. Join our Discord group. There's a link for that down in the description below. As well, become a VIP Discord member if you want to support us. And if you want access to what my portfolio looks like, what I'm doing in the market, link for that is down in the description below. You get access to our Patreon. You have to connect Patreon to your Discord. Should be good to go. We are also doing giveaways in our Discord group, in our VIP Discord group in the near future. Follow our Twitter. Links for everything is down in the description below. Until next time, folks, thank you all so much for watching. Take care. Hey man, look, I'm just calling to apologize here because look, I saw our most recent video, and I saw what people were saying in the comments, and frankly, it's true. Like, I think, I don't want my good looks to detract from like the video and its content. Like, if you just compare and contrast me and you, I'm showing up fresh, right? Like, I'm showing up to par, and I just think there's a bit of a dichotomy there, a bit of a contrast that people are noticing. And I'm just calling you to debate, how do we address this moving forward, right? Like, I don't want my good looks detracting from the content. You know what I mean?
What did they say? I was really paying attention.
Well, it's just the same old, right? It's the same stuff I've been hearing all my life. Like, he's so good looking, he's so fresh, he's so intelligent. How could he put up with someone like Messin? And I don't want you seeing any of this, right? I don't want you feeling this. So I'm just calling you to see if we can brainstorm ideas as to how we can deal with this moving forward. I don't know how to make myself look worse, right? It's so difficult.
That's true. That's with you being 350 pounds. Imagine.
Hey man, fat. Are you fat phobic? Fat has nothing to do. Beauty is what's on the inside.
You went on a tangent for 10 minutes here, man. I gotta throw in something. I don't know. I gotta, it has to happen.
Oh, that's very fat phobic of you.